All right, let's get right into it. Picture this. It's December 25th, 2025, and a brand new report just dropped that reveals a really critical dependency, one that seriously threatens America's tech and military power. This whole situation, it's being called the battery trap. And this quote, this one sentence just nails the whole crisis. It's a pretty stunning admission, you know? A huge strategic failure that puts absolutely everything on the line, from the race for AI in Silicon Valley all the way to the Pentagon's most advanced weapons. And this is the number that is sending Washington into a full-blown panic. This new report says that a shocking 100% of US weapon systems now have foreign parts. I mean, think about that. Not 90, not 99, 100%. Yeah, so let's be really clear. This goes way beyond some logistical headache. This is a fundamental vulnerability, right at the core. The very same Chinese battery problem that's giving America's tech giants nightmares as they build their massive AI data centers, it's the exact same problem that could grind the entire Department of Defense to a halt. So, to really get a handle on this, let's look at it from the inside, from a defense insider's point of view. From inside the Pentagon, just how deep does this vulnerability actually go? The number is just staggering. According to the defense analytics firm Govini, the US military depends on Chinese supply chains for about 6,000 different battery components. 6,000! And every single one of them is a potential point of failure, a switch that could just be flipped off. And listen, we're not talking about simple nuts and bolts here. These are the foundational materials. You gotta think of them as the essential organs of modern war and AI. We're talking about stuff like graphite anodes and cathodes. They're basically the skeleton of the lithium-ion batteries that power everything. So what does that mean in the real world? What actually stops working? Well, after watching what happened in Ukraine, military strategists have this big realization. Future wars are going to be powered by millions of batteries. So without them, our autonomous drones? Grounded. Our directed energy lasers? They won't fire. And all those AI data centers, the mobile ones and the massive ones, they just go dark. And this isn't just a defense issue. It cripples modern healthcare and the entire energy sector too. Which of course leads to the big question. And for this, let's switch hats and look at this as an economic skeptic would. You just have to ask, how on earth did the US let this happen? It's a story of chasing cheaper costs for decades, offshoring all our manufacturing, and just completely, utterly miscalculating the strategic risk. Now, here's where things get really interesting, because the whole game just changed. See, in what you could call Tech War 1.0, the US played its cards perfectly. It used its control over advanced microchips to block China. But then, China completely flipped the script. In Tech War 2.0, Beijing started to weaponize its control over all these things we dismissed as low-tech industrial parts, like critical minerals. And you can see exactly how this played out. All through 2025, China just started squeezing the supply of these minerals. By November, US industries were in chaos, facing crippling shortages. The pressure worked. By December, the Trump administration was forced into this humiliating retreat, lowering tariffs and letting America's most advanced AI chips get sold to China. And this is the brutal reality of what they're calling the G2 bargain. To keep the lights on, to keep the battery components flowing just a little bit, the US is trading away its crown jewels. And get this, in a really shocking twist, the US government is now basically a broker, taking a 15 to 25% fee from NVIDIA for the very AI chip sales it used to ban. It's a desperate deal for a drip feed of survival. So, as you can imagine, this desperate situation has kicked off a frantic, all-out race for a solution. The US is now scrambling to build what it's calling a domestic shield, trying to find a way to escape this battery trap once and for all. So what does this domestic shield actually look like? Well, it's basically a four-part attack. First, you legislate. New laws are cutting the Pentagon off from buying batteries from Chinese suppliers. Second, you invest. The Department of Energy is pouring hundreds of millions into finding and recycling battery materials here at home. Third, you bring in your friends. We're getting allies like Japan to build their battery factories right here in US soil. And fourth, the most ambitious part, you try to innovate your way out with a game-changing breakthrough. But here's the fundamental problem, right? All of these are great ideas, but they don't solve the core issue. How do you possibly escape a materials trap when your rival is the one who controls all the raw materials? Well, the answer just might be a moonshot solution that's coming out of MIT. And it's an idea so out there, it could completely change what we even think a battery is. Get this, researchers there have created something called electron-conducting carbon concrete. Basically, by mixing simple cement, water, and something called carbon black, they've figured out how to make everyday structures, like the walls in your house, a sidewalk, even a bridge, store and release electricity. Now, the key part here is that it uses abundant, common materials. It completely bypasses the need for the rare minerals that China controls. So here we are. The United States is in a desperate race against time, trying to innovate its way out of a trap that took decades to create. A Plan B is finally being built, but it all boils down to one final critical question. With China still holding the keys to those 6,000 components that keep America's military and its entire AI industry online, you have to ask yourself, is it just too late to break free? Or has this fight over the fundamental building blocks of our future already been decided? By controlling the humble battery, has China already won the energy war?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.